Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Audiotree Live. My name is Rita Lukea. Today's date is Wednesday, April 26, 2023. We have an amazing show for you today in the studio. We have LANNDS, all the way from Los Angeles, California. The session you're about to hear is available right now through your favorite streaming platform through the Audiotree artist profile. So please follow us over there. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube as well. We really want you guys to be able to keep up with all of the new and exciting talent we discover just for you, just like this duo here who's about to make your brains melt. Whenever you guys are ready, go ahead.
this house. Darling, we built this house. We built this house. There we go. All right, sick. It was just on my mind. I hope we can come back. You needed somebody. I think I needed something too. You and I, we were never
We're here with LANDS. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks for having
Hi.
us.
Hey, how are you feeling today? What's up?
I'm feeling good. A little bit tired. We drove all the way from, where was it? We drove like Ann Arbor.
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
I was gonna say this is like your fourth stop on tour. So, and last night you did Toronto, which is like one of my favorite cities of all time. I always like tell people Toronto feels like the city that IKEA thinks the world lives in. Like it's very idyllic. I don't know, I just love that place. So you two live in Los Angeles now because you just moved, but you're from Jacksonville, Florida. And that's where the band was formed. You guys met there in 2015.
Yeah, actually. So our story is kind of interesting. I hit up Brian on SoundCloud early 2015. And actually, he never responded to me on there.
Who checks their SoundCloud messages? You know what I mean? Like,
Not you.
yeah, that's true.
But then I like started following his band around Jacksonville, like the music scene around then. And I don't know, their band was like really cool and something like different I had never seen. It was very trippy, very psych. And I saw them at a bunch of bars, just going out. And then I recently
And then you poached him.
Yeah, basically.
And you're like, yoink, you're mine now.
And yeah, we just kind of like struck up this like really cool, like I had never worked with anyone. So like, it just felt very like intimate and very vulnerable, like from the start. And it just kind of felt right, like a magical kind of weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. I agree with that.
I hope so. You better. No kidding.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what is the scene like in Jacksonville, Florida? Is like this type of music like welcome there? Is it flourishing? Is it not?
Yeah, there's a lot of changeover over time, but there's always a ton of people doing it. Florida gets left out sometimes because like it's hard to tour there.
Yeah.
But like if you live there, you know that like there's a ton of bands doing really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like the rest of the country just kind of like, I don't know. they just won't, like they'll go to Atlanta and then just like keep it moving. You know,
Right.
they don't go south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, artists, musicians, should we go to Miami or should we go to Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. You heard it here first. After I listened to your music, I was like, that it tracks that it was made in this like subtropical climate around like lush like ferns and like the sun, and it like makes me want to do like psychedelics in this like swampy Florida jungle. Psychedelic music always makes me want to like put my headphones on and have this inner mental experience with it alone in my bedroom. So I'm curious, is that your intention going into making the music, or are you thinking about the live performance, like when you're making music, like, oh, we're going to perform this for a massive crowd, or is it more of this also, are you also having this inner experience?
First of all, that's awesome for you to say that,
Yeah.
because
Cool.
we're kind of on the same page about listening to music and psychedelics, and like we've had some experiences like what you're describing, and yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like, okay, wait, hold on. Like what?
oh, well,
I think like at first we kind of like, this is like kind of a recent discovery for us. Probably like the beginning of like starting Lotus, the Lotus
Yeah.
EP was kind of when like we kind of, so we scratched an entire EP before Lotus, and it was kind of like the start of like our like
Because like if you don't know it, the first sample at the beginning of Lotus is like, fuck it, we'll just do it all over again.
yeah.
And like you guys literally just like started from scratch and started it all over again.
Yeah, basically.
That's crazy.
For me, I had my first like psychedelic experience like with Brian. So, and then like kind of after that, I kind of just sat with that moment and just, it kind of changed the way I like my perspective with writing. And yeah, I don't know. It's not something I do often, but it's definitely changed the way that I like see music and like write music, which is very new for me. Yeah.
So it like unlocks like a part of your brain that you're not supposed to like be like have access to or something.
Yeah, For me, I guess it's also like I've tapped into this like discovery that I didn't notice before. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a self-awareness. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. No, I'm kidding. Like, I can't really relate because I've never done drugs before in my life. No, I'm kidding.
Would you say that's like the same for you?
Yeah, I think so. And I think our songwriting shift went from being about like structure to like moments and like tension and texture instead of being like, you know, verse, chorus. I mean, there is that too, of course, but like it's not like just breaking free of it was something I feel like we got from that.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of like that, what you're talking about, like that structural, like the structural, harnessing the structure to put lyrics on top of that in order to tell the story. Like your music, you use the composition itself to tell the story. And it the composition itself harnesses so much of the emotion, which is what I was noticing when I was listening to your music. I'm like, these guys did a bunch of drugs in the jungle. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'd love to hear, you have a couple more? I'd love to hear it whenever you're ready. We'll hear these drugged out freaks. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, let's do it.
Say it out loud. Call me again. Tell me what you want. Say my name. Say it out loud. Call me again. Tell me what you want. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. This feels like a war inside. Oh, oh inside, oh inside, oh inside. This feels like a war inside. Oh, oh inside, oh inside. Don't come knocking at my door. Don't come swinging around the corner. And don't you say you know my love. Don't you ready to claim my love. Don't, 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 don't.
We're back with LANDS. So good, you guys.
Thank you.
Rania, your voice is so cool, dude.
Thanks, man.
My
Appreciate it.
yeah, you're
It's
welcome.
like honestly, like it sounds really good in here. So thank you guys.
Oh,
so much.
don't try to blame it on us. My spidey senses are tingling when I listen to some of the harmonies you're doing. Were you by any chance in a choir?
I was actually. Oh wow. That's like my interesting. Yeah, I like grew up in church and played guitar and sang in choir and did a little bit of like choir in school, but mostly like guitar. But yeah, you spot on, dude.
I fucking nailed it. Well, I love the classic like journey of someone coming from a wholesome religious background and then kind of blossoming into like a queer indie darling hippie.
Sometimes it's how it rolls, you know.
Sorry, Mom. What about Brian? What's your background?
Yeah, well, musically, I grew up playing drums all the time, and I was in band and like marching band. I was in like a Scottish pipe and drum corps at a military school. Complete weird
Let's
opposite
go.
of Rania, yeah.
That's sick.
And then, I don't know, moved on to like being into like punk and like that kind of stuff. And then
Yeah. You rebelled against the structure and then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at military school, I was friends with a bunch of kids that kind of like to, we had like a little punk band. We were cool. You would have liked it.
that's kind of cool. So both of you like seceded and like went away from these institutions and then came together, and the rest is history. Let's talk about your record, Music for the Future. Congrats, by the way. It just came out last month.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And only a year and 1 month after the last release. I am a little confused. I'm curious, what's the story there? Like, did you write and record this record in a year and a month? Because I am jealous of you if you did.
We did write it actually really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the timeline is weird because the dates on Spotify for the release before it, I think, are misleading.
Okay.
Because it got
'Cause
repackaged.
it's a
Yeah.
re-release.
Oh.
But to your point, though, we did record the whole album, I would say, like in what, like half a year maybe? But the bulk of it like in one summer.
The bulk of it, like, most of the songs we performed today were like made in like a week in the cabin.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of like, I would say probably like over 2-3 months, we kind of like finished it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where does that put the timeline? Like, which summer was it? Any of it during the pandemic, or was it more recent than that?
I think it was the summer of 2021.
Okay.
The pandemic
Am I-
was still happening,
It
but
was
it
still
wasn't
happening.
like 2020. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, one of my big things is I like to like psychoanalyze people's lyrics and try to figure out like people's trauma and then ask them about it. And
Oh man.
I was gonna say like this record like lyrically doesn't sound like I'm going fucking crazy and the world is burning down like pandemic album. Like it feels very like obviously there's some frustrations, but you're more of a chiller. Like I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for me during that time, like we knew we were moving. We actually were like planning to move to LA like early 2020, and so we got like we were stuck in Jax for another year, and so like it was all these feelings of like knowing that I was like gonna move from Florida to like a place I'd never really like visited before, and like so this was like the first time that I felt like I was doing something like insane. Like I don't know, like I was harboring a bunch of like feelings, and like new feelings were coming on, and I think the main theme for me during that time was transformation too. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we both were kind of like, we knew that it was just like this feeling of like we know something big is about to happen, and on top of that we were like, I feel like going through like a lot of stuff internally too, like a lot of different like our own like issues, nothing like out of the ordinary for anyone, but
Right.
definitely a lot of new feelings. So I was just like, I think the one question I asked a lot during this time too was just like asking my ancestors, asking the universe to like just allow me to say what I need to say during this moment. And yeah, that's kind of where like most of it came from.
It's really fascinating that you say that you were like calling upon your ancestors for like guidance and advice. When I hear the music and I hear like the repetitive like more chants, I feel like chants in music can be a kind of like enchantment or like a bewitching.
Yeah.
And when the music kind of just like wraps around that, it really just like I feel like just moves all of that emotion just into the room and out into the world like through you, and it's beautiful.
Wow, thanks
It's
for saying that.
inspiring,
Like
yeah.
I feel like that's like how we feel too, like with this record, and it's like cool to hear like someone who is like completely like removed from our process, and like to hear you say that about the record like really means a lot. So like seriously, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's a banger. Actually, I just learned this new slang on Twitter. Somebody was describing good music as being an ass beater.
Oh, okay.
I've been using it too much, but yeah, this record's so good. I know I'm all about the lingo. It was total pleasure having you guys in the studio today. You guys have one more.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, take it away.
See you love. I just need time to think. Is it too hard? You just need time to breathe. I know it's real. Could you come carry me? Is anything real? Is it worth carrying?
So good. That wraps up our Audiotree live session with LANDS. Thanks again for coming in, you two.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I want to give a big thank you to the talented people behind the scenes who make this happen, the lighting and camera crew, the sound engineers, and you guys, the listeners. Thank you so much for listening. The session you just heard is available wherever you stream music. Listen to it. Maybe pick up a copy of Music for the Future. Support the band. Follow them on social media. And from all of us here at the studio, thanks for watching. We love you. See you next time.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?